Hello, this is Danny Raymond, the voice behind Ray's Guide. The second group of manufacturers at ILW has a theme of small, interesting vehicles and the ships that bring them there. So you have the heavy scout armored vehicles from Tumbril and the Hercules Starlifters that are pretty much essential to get to where you need to be. You have the smallest fighter in the game, the Fury, buggies like popular Cyclone 9, and ships like the Spirit and Freelancer series that can bring them around. And then you have the one vehicle debuting this year, the Mirai Pulse. And to be honest, this little craft has me rethinking every other motorcycle style vehicle in my hangar. And frankly, most of them are going to get melted or utilized as an LTI token. The Pulse 2, of course, can be used as an LTI token, but this may be the last one to actually do that for me. That doesn't mean that the others don't have their strengths. If you prize durability and stability, get the HoverQuad. If your checklist includes a second seat or being able to carry a box, then maybe the Dragonfly. But honestly, if I'm looking to accomplish that much with a vehicle, maybe an STV or a Cyclone buggy are the more appropriate ones anyway. Frankly, the total footprint between the Dragonfly and the smaller buggies isn't that much. And that's what I've realized. So many of the bikes in my hangar stay in the hangar all the time because of the footprint. It's because if I'm hauling, I'm going to want every single SCU, and if I'm doing general bunkers and stuff, I'm generally looking for a small ship with space for loot and stuff. And in either case, a Dragonfly or Nox or HoverQuad isn't going to do it. I'm having to change the ship I'm bringing to accommodate a bike that I may or may not wind up using. But now look how well the Pulse fits into the back of a Cutter Rambler. No weird having to angle it, no scraping against the door pistons, no blocking the aisle, no taking up space that I might have needed for some loot. If I need it, then it's there. If I don't, then it's not a nuisance having it there. Just having it there all the time is all plus and almost no minus. And that is on one of the smallest general purpose ships in the game, the Cutter Rambler. It kind of reminds me of the motorcycle in the movie Oblivion, although not quite so small as that, and that is because of physicalized components. But the vibe is there. Need to go ground? Just pull it out of its niche. Otherwise, it just stays there. In the general lexicon of Star Citizen players has been the term daily driver, as in the general purpose ship for getting around without a specialized need. And this, honestly, is the first craft that I can really feel fulfills the role of a daily rider. And with the 3.32.x release having personal hangars, imagine just having one of these sitting in some corner of your hangar and drive it aboard whatever ship you just called up. Now, to be clear, the Pulse isn't perfect. While playing around with it, it blew up on a landing that I'm pretty sure a HoverQuad would have taken without incident. But that makes a fair deal of sense. I did try to take the Pulse into a hangar elevator and drive around the public areas of Virginia Point, and was almost immediately hit with a trespass and impound. So they have that covered. And that is likely why they now felt confident in coming out with a vehicle that could be small enough to fit in the elevators. And that perhaps is the reason why earlier bikes were so deliberately supersized. I also took the Pulse into a bunker protection mission, and yes, it did fit, but the fine movement control was not good enough to make it actually useful. So you're imagining this being the bunker busting meta are likely to be a disappointment. However, imagine these being used in fast cavalry situations, where you have, say, a Valkyrie where the vehicle deck is filled with one pulse per soldier in a situation like Ghost Hollow or Jumptown. It's an interesting possibility, but there will be occasions where you will have to dismount. But it will be far more practical to do this on just the needed floor space considerations with the Pulse than it ever would have been to do with a Dragonfly or Nox. Not to mention that the Pulse will be able to ride into tighter locations before having to dismount. So yes, you can see the Pulse as being an inexpensive LTI token, which it is, but also consider it as an opportunity to reconsider the entire subject of motorcycles in your hangar. Are you getting value from them? And if not, maybe melt them and focus on just using a Pulse as your daily rider. Now, for an update on our giveaways, we have a special membership to help cover travel costs to have the channel have live CitizenCon coverage with its own giveaway for a Hull C. And yes, I will be giving away that colossal cargo container carrying craft even if our live citizen coverage is forced to be remote. Plus the regular Grow the Channel ship giveaways for giving some lucky player. The zip is as active as ever, the Zeus 2 cargo, and the marvelous multiplayer, multi-role mining meta, the Arasta. 1 entry per video. Just be a member for automatic entry, or subscribe and comment with the secret word And the secret word for this video is a term that you might want to consider the pulse being. Fly safe, keep it real, and I'll see you in the verse. This is Danny Raymond for Ray's Guide.